But the big deal right now is what is going on with interest rates. How's it going, guys? My name is Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate, affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 5th of August, 2024, and this is the Numbers and the Nuance. This is where you come weekly in order to make sure you're wrapping your head around Utah's right now real estate market. If you want to know exactly what's going on in the housing, this is where you come to watch. As always, I'll give you my nuanced opinion of what's going on in the market, and then I'll bring to you the numbers and the charts directly from the MLS so that you know it's not just my opinion, it's what the numbers and the data show. So here's what's going on. Okay, inventory crept up a little bit more, that's good. Average list price last week, as well as the number of homes sold last week, both came up, stayed within the range where we'd expect them to be considering the track they've been on for the last 5 going on months. But the big deal right now is what is going on with interest rates. Okay, interest rates dropped to a point significantly where they haven't been since April of last year, April of 2023. This was while interest rates were still creeping on their way up to the high that they got to in late November of 2023. So, they hit 6.4% interest rates is what we're looking at this morning. And they haven't been there since last April, as they were on their way up to the high they would get to of 7 3/4, close on 8% for a 30-year conventional loan. And then they backed off, and interest rates have hovered at around 7% ever since then. There've been a couple of false flags where they dipped to 6.9, 6.8, and then just right back up to 7 or a little over 7. But now we're at 6.4. I mean, last week we were at 6.8 something, and now we're at 6.4. So interest rates have dropped significantly. And of course, with record high home prices here in Utah, higher interest rates are doing home buyers zero favors. So of course, buyers would love to see interest rates come down. The lower the better in the buyer's opinion, because the lower your interest rate, the lower your monthly payment will be on your mortgage. So what we want to know is, what is causing the Fed to decide now that interest rates can come down? And is it likely to continue? And I'll tell you that unemployment rates rising and new jobs creation falling short of where it was anticipated to be are the signals that the Fed has been waiting for in order to see that the economy is weaker than we'd like it, and the Fed can help by making it less expensive to borrow money, i.e. mortgage interest rates, among other things. So we can expect to see interest rates continue to drop if week after week our jobs reports look similar to the way they've been looking the last couple of weeks. Now, I've been saying this for months, and I will continue to say it here and now. If interest rates drop too fast, that will increase demand, and Utah's available supply of homes for sale can be bit into enough that it will cause more of the upward pressure on Utah home prices that we've been stagnant on and hoping to see go the other direction all year now, because we've reached a peak of record home prices. And what I'd like to see is enough inventory and low enough demand that our home prices can start to come down at least a little bit before interest rates drop significantly and bring a whole bunch of more buyers onto the market. I'm not in love, and I don't think Utah home buyers are in love with the prospect of any more upward pressure on our home prices. So what I'd like to see is not just interest rates come down, but I'd like to see inventory be able to continue to rise and home prices to start to drop before interest rates start to come down. So this may be an unpopular opinion, but I'd rather interest rates stayed at 6.5 or a little above that for a few more months, just to have that scenario be able to play out. But we'll see what happens, and I'll be here to keep track of it. Let's look at the numbers. So as of this morning, inventory sits at 10,654, up some 30 from the previous week, still trending up. Average days on market last week came to 47, which is up from the previous week by, again, just a couple of days. Average list price prior week came to $679,398, up from the previous week. Average sold price came to $669,045. And so the difference between average list and average sold came to to $10,353 in the buyer's favor, up from the previous week. So this is one of the charts where we see some of that volatility, and if home prices started to drop, we would see this number start to drop concurrently with it. We would have this number be more and more in the buyer's favor. Number of homes sold last week came to 665. Pretty good jump up from where it was, but still within the level of demand that we've been seeing the last 5 months. The number of homes under contract right now comes to 5,029, which is down another step from its previous week. The number of price reductions that we had on the market last week came to 1,224, up from its previous week. This is clearly trending up. The number of listings that were either canceled or expired or just withdrawn from the MLS came to 466, spiked up from its previous 3 weeks. As you can see, this follows a pattern of spiking up every time I do this report on the first report of any given month. And then it kind of comes back down and hovers lower than that, and then spikes back up at the next beginning of a month. That said, we can see this trending up a little bit. And interest rates, as I said, as of right now are sitting at 6.4% for a 30-year conventional loan. That's the numbers. That's it for this week, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to hit me in the comments there. I'd love to respond. If you or anybody you know is thinking of buying or selling a home here in Utah in the coming months, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me. I'm gonna be happy to work with you, be on your team. Make sure you always know what's happening next. I like to make a real estate transaction as seamless and anxiety-free for my clients as possible. And of course, if you'd like to stay educated on Utah's right now housing market, there is not going to be a better way than to hit that subscribe button and keep up on it with me from week to week. I'll see you next time.